All right, so buckle up because we are diving into an anime that's seriously going to mess with your head. We're talking hidden powers, epic battles, and betrayals that'll have you questioning everything.
It's wild how this whole thing starts out, pretty straightforward, good versus evil, and then boom, pulls the rug right out from under you, gets seriously, morally messy really fast.
Okay, so you gave us the rundown of this anime, and honestly, the whole setting hooked me from the get-go. You've got this remote island, right, in this academy where they send all these students who have like these crazy powers, and they're constantly training to fight these, get this, enemies of humanity. Talk about pressure.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like living in a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
And in the middle of all that, you've got Nakajima, our main dude, and he's kind of presented as, well, kind of ordinary, especially compared to his family. They've got this whole legacy thing going on, and don't even get me started on how strong all the other students are.
Total underdog, right. And then we get to that scene where his powers finally come out, and I swear I was on the edge of my seat. I mean, picture this. Massive fireball about to toast everyone, and he just walks right into it.
Dude, such a good twist. You're expecting some huge in-your-face display like everyone else has, right? But it's like this quiet moment of, I don't know, almost sacrifice, and then bam, power reveal. But it's not what you think. He doesn't fight back. He just absorbs all that energy, shuts it down completely. It's a totally different way of being strong, like he's playing 4D chess or something.
See, that's what got me. It's not just a cool power. It changes how you see the whole power dynamic. Suddenly this average dude is the wild card. Nobody knows what he can do, and that makes him dangerous.
For sure. And just when you think you've got a handle on things, the story throws this other curveball at you. Enter Nana, this new girl, super bubbly personality. It seems like she's got this crazy powerful mind reading thing going on. Even helps Nakajima out, encourages him to go for class rep and everything. Seems legit, right?
Right. Totally harmless until she shoves him off that cliff. And I'm like, rewind. What just happened? The recap makes it seem like she goes from bestie to like cold-blooded assassin in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I know, right? It makes you question everything about her. Was she always faking it? Did something happen? The recap leaves you hanging, which is brilliant. It just cranks up the suspense. And just when you think things couldn't get any crazier, the recap drops this bombshell. Nana, not a talented student at all. Turns out she's been sent to, get this, eliminate them, all of them. This whole enemies of humanity thing.
Hey.
Totally made up, just a way to manipulate these kids.
Usually messed up. You always see these stories about people being afraid of those with powers, but here it's the other way around, which is kind of a mind trip. Makes you wonder what people in power would do to control something they don't get. Something that scares them.
Yeah. Totally. It's like a cautionary tale about like the dangers of misinformation, how easy it is to turn fear into a weapon. And knowing what Nana's really after, it makes every interaction she has with the others just different. Like Shibusawa, the guy who can control time, he could really mess up her plans, right? But she takes him out in the coldest way possible.
Dude, freezing him under a lake, brutal. It's like this girl's got ice in her veins. And then you've got Kiyoya. The recap makes a big deal about how observant he is, how he starts picking up on these little things about Nana, like she's not who she says she is. Talk about tension.
Oh, yeah. It's like this mental chess match between them. He's trying to figure her out, and she's always one step ahead, playing everyone like a fiddle. It's intense.
And we can't forget about Yuka and Shinji, the necromancers, bringing the dead back to life. That just adds a whole other layer of crazy to this debate about power and control.
Yeah, and the recap does a great job of using them to kind of dig into the ethics of it all. Like, even if you're doing it for the right reasons, bringing someone back from the dead, it makes you think about consent, about messing with the natural order of things. Where do you draw the line?
Right. And then Nana goes and uses Yuka's feelings for Shinji to, well, basically get her killed. It's a harsh reminder that even in this crazy world of powers and magic, it's the human stuff, the emotions, that can be the most dangerous weapon of all.
So true. And even with all the darkness, all the betrayal, the recap still manages to work in these moments of genuine connection. Like Nana and Michiru, the healer, their whole dynamic was surprising.
I know. You totally thought Michiru was going to be another victim. But instead, she challenges Nana, shows her a different way of seeing things. It's like, even in this heart of darkness, a little bit of empathy can still sneak through.
Definitely. It shows that people aren't just one thing, good or bad. And then things get really interesting when Nana gets that warning about the second killer going after Michiru.
Dude, the tension in that scene. You can practically feel Nana's struggle. It's like, does she stick to her mission, the whole reason she's there? Or does she protect Michiru, even if it means risking everything.
It's a tough call, right? And what I find so fascinating is how the recap uses that whole situation to explore this idea of indoctrination. Nana's been so focused on her duty, on eliminating the talented, that she's forgotten what it means to be human, to care about someone.
So she's at a crossroads, right? Duty versus this connection she's built with Michiru. You can cut the tension with a knife.
Oh, totally. And the recap uses that tension to really dig into this idea of what indoctrination does to a person. Nana's been so focused on her mission, on wiping out the talented, that she's lost sight of your own humanity. It's tragic, really.
Yeah, and then they hit you with the second killer's whole deal. It's not about control, not about some greater purpose for this guy. He just gets off on hurting people. Pure sadism. Talk about a wake-up call.
Right. It throws Nana's whole world upside down. I mean, here she is, fighting for a cause that's built on lies and manipulation, and then she comes face to face with true evil, the very thing she was supposed to be preventing.
And then that phone call from her handler. Chills, man, chills. It's like he's reeling her back in, reminding her everything she thought she believed in, pushing her to make the right decision, even if it means sacrificing Michiru. Brutal.
That call, it's like this catalyst, forces her to see the monster she's becoming. And I think in that moment of truth, she chooses compassion. She chooses Michiru.
Dude, that race to save her is one of the most intense things I've ever seen. Every second counts,
Yeah.
You're on the edge of your seat the whole time.
And the way she shields Michiru, takes that hit without a second thought. It's like this huge turning point for her character, a selfless act of redemption, like she's trying to make up for all the bad stuff.
But it's an anime, right? It can't be that easy. Michiru's powers bring Nana back, but it takes everything she has. Just rips your heart out, watching her use the last of her strength to save someone who is ready to let her die.
It's rough, man. It shows how much damage manipulation can do. How sacrificing your own moral compass for some messed up cause can come back to bite you. Nana might be alive, but she's got a long road ahead of her.
Totally. Having to live with the weight of that sacrifice. The guilt, the what-ifs. Powerful ending. But man, it leaves you with so many questions.
That's the beauty of it, right? Will Nana honor Michiru? Will she try to make a better world, a world where this kind of crap doesn't happen? Or will she get swallowed up by all that darkness? The recap doesn't give you the answers, and I kind of love that. Makes you really think.
For sure. It's like a reminder that sometimes the hardest battles are the ones we fight within ourselves. Choosing to fight for the light, even when everything seems hopeless. And on that note, I think we've done our due diligence on this Island of Secrets. For one day, if you're looking for an anime that'll keep you guessing until the very end, this is it. Just be prepared for some serious emotional whiplash along the way.